Hello everyone, I am Cool Guy, and today I would like to talk about Supremacy, the Iron Banner, shotguns, playlists in general. So in the background, I have a gameplay of me running solo in the Iron Banner. It's a decent gameplay, good statistical numbers. We went 35-5 with a 7 KD and a score of 60, but some of the kills in the background are what makes players tick, so that's what I want to talk about today. Because on social media, YouTube comment sections, online forums, I've seen a lot of players point out the heaviness of shotguns in the first Rise of Iron Banner, and that game mode is Supremacy, right? So it's very frustrating to play against. I see where that's coming from, and I once felt like that about this game mode, but it's looking at Supremacy as either glass half full or glass empty. There are a lot of shotguns, and yes, that's lame, but let's talk about Supremacy a little bit. The game mode itself and why shotguns in general are prevalent. Supremacy is a close quarters combat game mode. Now the objective is to gather a crest dropped on a player's body that you killed, and the crests are used to score the game. So you gain score from getting the enemy crest, and you can deny enemy score by gathering your own team's crests. This puts the engagements on top of one another, and the map design caters to close quarters combat most of the time. So the game mode itself pretty much forces you to be in players' faces. And to be honest, I don't mind the game mode. At first, it's not my first choice, of course, no, but once I took the game mode for what it was, I enjoyed it a lot more, and that's that glass half full kind of mentality. Once I took it for what it was, I started having a lot more fun. That being an aggressive, up-in-your-face game type that requires you to confirm crests, to be on the move, to score, and what that entails is using a special weapon most of the time, and a lot. Now I did use sidearms, fusion snipers, and I saw a lot of other players using different weapons, and things like a sniper can be useful, but it's not the first choice since you do have to confirm the crest after you get a kill. We had a team of 6 once and one player sniping from a distance, and we were just confirming for him. So with communication, a sniper can be useful, but it's no question that the shotgun was the most prevalent. And in my opinion, the first Iron Banner with Supremacy will go down as the most shotgun-heavy week in Destiny ever. I would love for Bungie to do that statistical breakdown of weapon usage from this Iron Banner like they have in the past. But I don't necessarily think that it's the shotgun's fault. I think that shotguns don't really need any tuning. I've seen a lot of players call attention to the shotguns, but there's another side to this story, and how shotgun fits in Destiny. Shotguns have been brought down quite a bit since day one, and they used to have a lot of range. I remember the original vendor Comedian. It had field scouts, you had 7 in the magazine and like 30 in reserve. Times have changed. A new archetype was introduced, right? Felt Winter's Lie. Then shot package, which was huge, and then it was nerfed, and then it was taken away. Then range was reduced. Then things like raise your weapon at a blink was reduced. To go with that, auto rifles were very strong day one, but they were nerfed. They were nerfed after looking at the Suros regime usage from the Iron Banner one week, and I just thought I'd throw that in there. But then we move on to hand cannons. There was the 111 Last Word, the 2-tap Thorn. They didn't really have accuracy issues back then, and then we had the pulse rifles with reactive reload and how crispy those were. Then nerfs, buffs. All the while, they continue to contribute to an increased overall kill time. It takes longer to kill your enemy now than it did back then. Special weapons, shotguns, fusion, snipers, all nerfed, and some more than the other. The shotgun is left in a place to where range and impact matters the most. The Matador, Felt Winter, they all still reign supreme, but after all of this, think about how different the game plays now than it did at the start of Destiny. Think about all the weapon balance changes. But after all these variables have been changed, what is the most constant? What is the constant in all these variables? It's the movement, and that's the other side of the story that needs to have attention brought to it, needs to be realized. Players are able to run around a little bit more freely with their shotgun now than they ever could before. It's because the majority of the primary weapons simply cannot kill them fast enough before they reach you. I've used this clip many times before. It shows a couple things, and obviously how powerful the 2-tap Thorn was and how that can't happen again, but things like at long distances, there were no peek battles from a sniper because they were dead if they kept peeking. But also, most importantly, it's what we're talking about today. When people were rushing at you, you punished them for doing it blindly. That really isn't the case anymore. The shotgun might be used by players, and the shotgun is what players remember when they are killed by them. But the movement hasn't changed, guys. They're still coming at you the same speed that they came at you in year one, but now, slowly, and worse, primary weapons aren't killing them fast enough before they reach you. I've been in situations where I know that they're coming around a corner, and I have my primary out, but they just keep on running at me, and my primary just simply cannot kill them fast enough. And previously, I know that they would have been punished for a play like that. There has to be a little bit more movement back in year one. You had to knee slide, you had to get a vertical space, you had to go around corners very carefully because you would be dropped if you were running in the middle of nowhere. But what this turns into is that even though somebody's across the hall, even though they're across the way, he's rushing at me using cover, I get shots in, but not enough to kill him, then he's up in my face. And I look at that as, for some reason, even though he's 30 meters away, we are now in a close quarters engagement for some reason, and it's just something that I don't get. Now, but again, a lot of it has to do with the weakness of primaries and the movement in this game. And nothing should happen to the movement, let me make that clear. The movement, along with gunplay, is what makes Destiny Destiny. But the primaries should be brought in line somewhere in between where they are now and how they were when they were powerful. I mean, what do you guys think? I don't mind playing the shotgun game. I mean, it's kind of fun. Look at this gameplay. I mean, I'm just kind of running around doing my own thing, embracing the game mode for what it is. But certain weapons, like the Doctrine, that have a 15-meter maximum distance of which it does maximum damage, people can just knee slide shotgun into you. Like, that's not far enough. It's not doing enough damage for how close you are. And really good players that have been practicing with Shadestep, practicing with Juggernaut, and in that certain playstyle that have just put a lot of work into it, they're really good at it, and I'm not taking anything away from those guys. And I think a lot of those guys out there would kind of agree that in year one, you couldn't be as free as you can right now. And finally, Destiny is kind of due for a map voting system, and hopefully they at least insert it into Destiny 2, because imagine if the Iron Banner was rotating and two choices came up and it left it up to the lobby. There's a choice of Supremacy on Floating Gardens or Control on Twilight Gap. It would give the lobby a choice. Now, most games have this in general outside of Destiny, but that example has a choice of a game mode and a map, but just map voting would hold a lot of value, because say it's Clash, you put on a couple maps and let the lobby vote. And that would change loadouts, because I know in Supremacy right now I'm running a shotgun and a hand cannon, or a shotgun and a pulse more than likely, but if that switches to Clash, I'm going to change that loadout a little bit probably. So it would change the playlist, it would change player loadouts in the beginning of the game, and we could also kind of move as a team to vote for a map that we want or a game mode that we want. I think that'd be pretty interesting. What are your guys' thoughts? Because those are just a couple of mine, and I saw those comments about the shotguns, and I wanted to point out the other side of things. Shotguns are nowhere near their maximum capacity, and that's a good thing, but I don't think that they're an issue right now. I wouldn't necessarily say they're in the best spot, but they're in a completely lower spot than they've ever been, and Supremacy brings out what I've been talking about in this video. Those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. We all have an opinion, and it all should be heard. So thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am Cool Guy.